What's up everybody, the Crap Gamer, and welcome to Crappy Reviews, where the games aren't always crappy, but the reviews usually are. I'm the one and only Crap Gamer with you as always. If you liked the review, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, I'd appreciate it. Today I'm reviewing God of War Chains of Olympus for the PlayStation 3. Actually, I'll be reviewing all the God of War saga on my channel over the next couple of weeks. Too often it's easy to focus on the bad PlayStation games because there's so many of them, and that's the whole kind of persona thing I work with on my channel. But I wanted to change that up and focus on some of the best PlayStation games to ever release, and God of War Chains of Olympus was originally a PlayStation portable game, and I bought it day one and I loved it, and I still have it and still play it when I go out or bring it with me. Then they remastered it and put it in the God of War HD collection on the PlayStation 3. I bought that day one as well. I actually thought Chains of Olympus had a better idea of who Kratos was and what he was about than some of the other God of War games. And the production value was absolutely through the roof despite being a handheld game. It's pretty amazing actually. Now Ready at Dawn made Chains of Olympus, and we all know they've gone on to make their first AAA game, and that was the PS4 game Order 1886. Now, one of the reasons that the PSP was such a great handheld was the fact that it was for hardcore gaming. No gimmicks, no BS, just awesome games. Graphically, this game looks great on the PlayStation 3. It looks great on the PSP as well. But they've done a nice job of bringing up the textures and lighting in the PlayStation 3 version of the game. Kratos looks fantastic, the environments look awesome, and there's no issues with frame rate or anything negative to say about the performance. Although, being that it was once a PlayStation portable game, there's not a whole lot going on the screen at the same time due to those hardware limitations, but it's not something that you really notice when you play the game. God of War Chains of Olympus is the typical God of War game. It's a third-person game that has a fixed camera angle, meaning you can't change the view. The game shows you what it wants when it wants you to see it, and you control Kratos, and the combo-based combat, and there's platforming and puzzle-solving elements and all the great stuff that these games are known for throughout the years. The platforming elements require you to climb walls and jump across chasms and swing on ropes and balance across beams, which kind of sucks because I suck at that. And you do this to proceed through different sections of the game. Now, there's some of the puzzles are rather easy, like moving a box so that you can use it as a jumping-off point to get to a pathway or something, but some are much more complex, like finding several items and then backtracking across several different items with your item that you found to unlock a door. There's some backtracking involved in the game, and some people might not like that, but it's not too bad. And sometimes you'll use something like a body as a weight or a counterweight to find a secret path. Basically, your main weapon is this thing called the Blades of Chaos, and it's a pair of blades that are attached to the chains around your wrist. If you've seen any God of War gameplay footage or what you're seeing here, it's basically the same, and you can swing them offensively and jump up in various different ways and angles and things like that. So basically, you get a couple of new weapons that you can use throughout the game. One of them is the Sun Shield. This is pretty cool, and the Gauntlet of Zeus, which gives you varying combat, which is a cool thing, and you can level these up throughout the game by finding the orbs and things like that, so I think that that's pretty cool. There's also 3 magical abilities that you can learn throughout the game as well. Now, the events are set between God of War Ascension and the original God of War game, so it's kind of a prequel to the prequel sequel, if that makes sense to you. And the story revolves around Kratos. After his 10 years of service to the Olympic gods, he is sent to the city of Attica to help defend it from the invasion Persian army. So you basically start out and you kill the king, and then you observe the sun fall, and there's like this world plunging into the darkness. And of course, with it being a God of War game, there's a lot of backstabbing and revenge to be had by Kratos, and the story does a really good job of explaining a lot about Kratos with some really awesome flashbacks, and they do a good job of conveying his story, which is something they don't always do well in the God of War games, but I particularly like the story and how it's done in this, and it's got full voice acting and everything, so it's pretty good in that aspect. Now, all in all, God of War Chains of Olympus is a brilliant entry into the franchise, and although it doesn't have the splendor of the bigger console titles, I believe it tells a better story and has a lot to offer in and of itself. God of War Chains of Olympus gets a great 8 out of 10. Please remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and rack 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer, out.